Hello, beautiful divine soul. Thank you for joining me, Mystic Mia, here on A Moment Tarot for another message for you reading. We have 3 piles here. Pile 1 is Journey to the Cosmos of the Soul. Pile 2 is Infinite Awareness. And pile 3 is Solar Plexus Chakra. Choose whatever you feel resonant towards, that sticks out at you, that your intuition shot to first, or pick the image or the colors that resonates with you the most. Timestamps are below. This is a timeless reading, so it should resonate whenever you come across this reading. And with that, I hope you enjoy the reading, and I wish you much love and light. Okay, pile 1 with the Journey to the Cosmos of the Soul card. Looking at the message for you. So let's get started. Let's start with this one. Surrender, letting go of darkness. All right, so there is definitely an energy of releasing and surrendering in a way that, like, this is happening without your total conscious awareness. So this could be happening subconsciously, that you're releasing and letting go of all the darkness. I feel like you've already experienced the darkness. You've already done the inner work related to this darkness, or the trauma, or the fears, or these experiences. And I'm seeing like so many of them over a long period of time. And there's something that you released recently. It could be an item, a piece of furniture, a person, or something of that sort, but some sort of something physical that you've released recently that is tied to this extended period of time in your life where a lot of things were difficult. There were a lot of high points as well. There's a lot of learning and growing and a lot of highlights, but this time of your life was mainly made up of intense experiences for your soul growth, but intense. And I am getting light worker vibes. So this was kind of in earlier years or your formative years, even if it happened in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, or even 60s, it was a huge chunk of time, like a decade or more. And you might not be aware of this thing that you released. So whether it's a person, a thing, a car, or a piece of furniture, a piece of clothing, or something of that sort that you didn't realize was holding on to the energy of this entire time, even though you've done the internal work for it, healing, moving past it, a reminder was still around you. The energy was still being held within that material thing or that physical thing. And you releasing that, there's like a piece of your heart that was going with that material thing as you released it, as you let go of it, as you removed it, disposed of it. And so you might have had experiences like feeling sad out of nowhere, having tears released from your face without knowing why. Sometimes tears being released, especially when you're like falling asleep and you're yawning or you're tired, on one side of the cheek and the other side of the cheek mean different things. Tears falling from the left side is usually from happiness and joy, and the right side is usually from sadness or anger. That's not always the case, I found, but from both sides. And so what I'm getting is this is a sign, especially if you kind of have a night full of dreams, or you wake up feeling exhausted when you feel like there's no reason to. You having tears stream down your face when you feel like you have no reason to, feeling sadness in that day, feeling tired in that day when you feel like you have no reason to. This is why. When you feel like you need rest and you're like, I don't know why, it's because your subconscious mind or your higher mind is dealing with this release in a way that your conscious mind does not need to. They're protecting your conscious mind, your conscious awareness, because you don't need to deal with this again. You've already dealt with the trauma. You've already gotten over it. You're already stepping into this new life, this new cycle. So your subconscious mind is doing all that for you. Be grateful, right? The Devil. Wow. What a sign in reverse that you're releasing a lot of dark things. Okay, so another sign I'm getting that this is happening is that there'll be dark things that pop up for you. Maybe in conversation you hear about this traumatic story that happened to a neighbor, or something in the newspaper, something in your For You page or something, your feed of some sort, just a story that you've heard on your social media account, of things that are so dark, and you've already done like kind of your collective shadow work. So these are things that like you could have never imagined, especially if you're a light worker. This stuff kind of like tears your heart out and like squishes it, you know, like it's like gut-wrenching, despicable, darkest of the dark, you know, human stuff, you know, for the collective, that you might have done a tidbit of work here and there, especially towards the end of your journey, because it's so, this stuff is so hard, right? And light workers, like, you come from such a high frequency place to have to deal with, cleanse some of this energy is like, man, like, put me out of my misery kind of energy, right? So even though you like decided like, hey, I found my threshold of the darkest stuff I can deal with in terms of cleansing humanity's collective energy, and I no longer have to do that. You did what you had to do. You found your calling. You're supposed to bring light into the world, amplify the light in others. You brought your awareness to the darkness, but you don't need to do anything more with that, you know? You brought light there. You did a tiny bit of cleansing. That's it. You're out. You've met your threshold, and you're not going to go into a psychosis. You're not going to put yourself into energy you don't need to be in, okay? You're a light worker. You need to be in the light. Light workers do have the tendency to build up their shadow side, because that's how brightly your light can shine. You have to go both ways. We're in a realm of duality, so you have to go both ways, but you choose light, and choosing light over and over again is kind of the initial part of starting your journey. But here we are at the end of your initial spiritual awakening journey, and all that darkness is being released. And what's happening is that you're moving into the 5D. There is a physical shift happening on the planet. The earths are actually splitting. There's a spiritual earth, and there's a newer earth, and the two are not vibrationally, you know, they can't vibrationally be in the same energy, like same spot in the time-space continuum anymore. They have to split. They have to be on different timelines. They have to be in different densities, you know. So that split is happening, and those that are choosing to be of light, you're going in this direction, and those that are newer souls or are choosing to kind of go through that kind of soul growth on the more denser earth are going that path. This is all the stuff that's being released. I feel like it's going to be almost like a reset for your brain, your soul, because you're going to be in that energy where you're constantly connected with source energy. You're going to be in that light, airy, loving, high frequency energy all the time now. You're stepping into the 5D. You've known this. You've known this for a long time. Stepping into a spiritual journey, you knew this is the end goal. This is where you're going to end up going, is this new 5D life and the new 5D earth. That's always been the end game, right? That's what you came onto this planet to do. So this dense energy that's being released, this is all the stuff that you've experienced in that segment of your life that was very difficult. The darkest things that you wanted to experience in this earthly plane, in the physical body, before you transcend one last time, you experienced. And that was so deep and that was so dark. And that was just your experience. Some of the things that you touched upon was even darker than that, the collective darkness. That's going to be not erased, but it's going to be put away. It's going to be put away in the library of the Akashic records. It's there for you to refer to, you know, touch base in, like kind of touch upon whenever you need it to, for example, help another person or to do some soul growth. But your brain is creating this barrier. We talk about this 5D energy where you're protected from negative energy. Like people who are not of that higher frequency are no longer going to be able to come into your aura. They're not going to be able to communicate with you. They're not going to be able to touch you or touch your projects. But we don't talk about how it's going to protect you mentally, your mental sphere, your emotional sphere. They're not going to be able to touch your energy from any dimension, from any angle. Therefore, even your memory and even your brain and your mental capacities and your mental abilities are going to be protected from this negative energy. That's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that you're going to be able to uncover all these psychic gifts, and you're going to be able to push your mind to its highest capabilities, because this fog that has been kind of over the collective consciousness and the collective energy is going to dissipate. It's going to happen on an individual level because there's going to be a collective energy that goes into, you know, there's a split happening. There's a collective energy that wants to be in that fog still and still consenting to it. And there's a collective energy that said no to any influence of the negative sort and chose to evolve and did all the work required for that. And, helped a lot of other folks kind of, it's all of us helping each other kind of awaken. It wasn't just like one or the other. And it doesn't matter if you awakened first or awakened a little bit recently. Like, we all help each other kind of grow and evolve our light, which is helping the, earth energies evolve and kind of go into this higher frequency split. Actually, it's the earth helping us. So it's the other way around. But you're going to see that fog lifted. That's kind of what it's going to be like for us to move into this 5D energy. It's not like we're gaining these abilities, is that we're uncovering them. Uncovering what we've already had. Wow. Okay. Okay. Living light energy, seeing the beauty in life. Wow. Okay, so the first way that you're gonna notice this is individually, like, everything's gonna become lighter and brighter, more colorful, more easier, peaceful. You're finally ushering in an era of peace where you can let your creativity flourish, where you can love without being like rejected, where your love gets noticed and is reciprocated. Where you feel like you can have an open heart and stay consistent in that energy. You can stay openly connected to the divine and let that be consistent. And this card specifically from this deck always signified to me the light worker light grid. the network of light workers, that grid is going to be lit up, and we're going to be connecting with people who resonate with us so much easier, because we're going to be able to see them, see the beauty in life. They're going to be able to see us. It's going to be easier to pick out the light workers in the crowd and connect to them and form, friendships and connections and groups. And it's going to be easier to network with other light workers, starseeds and way showers, and whatever you would like to call this group of people. You want to be able to see each other easier. There weren't barriers, not even like on the individual person in the aura. There were barriers between light workers. Do you know how difficult it was to find each other and to connect with each other and stay connected to each other? There's always things coming out, pushing us away from each other. There was this kind of theory that all the light workers are kind of spread across the world so we can spread our light. And that is true. But now that we can connect to each other so strongly, we can connect with each other and live near each other more. And this has already been happening for more advanced light workers, but because the majority of us light workers in this last wave are completing our initial spiritual journey now, these are people who awakened in the 2000s and the 2010s, like before 2020, before COVID, because that's when a lot of people are awakening. But I consider that the new wave. 2020 is like people who are awakening from the 2020 energy. It's a new wave. All the people from the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, and 50s, like all those light workers are going to be able to finally live next to each other and be in formed groups. There's people from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and some from the 80s that have already been starting to do this. And they live in remote locations to keep it on the hush hush. They don't tell everyone, obviously. But more from some of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. Our group, our wave is going to start to be able to form these groups now in the physical, come together. Not like you haven't been connecting here and there, but reunion on point. Love that. Yeah, not that we haven't, but it's just going to be kind of more obvious now. Okay. Wow. All right. So that was a confirmation. Let's go into the next energy. So what else? Message of peace. Wow. Okay. Just move the screen a little bit closer because I wasn't sure how I want to approach this reading this time. Just followed intuition. Sometimes I do a format, sometimes I don't. The Sun card. Are you kidding me? Wow. Yeah, so this is a major sign. The Sun card in reverse for me is that with each passing day, each passing week, each passing month, it's going to just get better and better and better. So this is a sign. Message of peace. Things are getting better because we literally just talked about how we're going to be entering this huge era of peace. Wow. And things are just going to get better and better and better with the creativity. You're going to start with the things that you feel strongly about personally, the things that you always want to do, the creative pursuits you always want to look into, found interesting, wanted to work on. Now you have the time and space and resources in order to do that. And it's just going to get better and better because as you move into the 5D more securely, as you're because you're a ball of energy, right? Your body is not just a physical body. It has mental energies, emotional energies. It has etheric and astral aspects. It has magnetic fields, and it's just a huge, ball of just never-ending energies and portals and gates and this and just different kinds, going in and out. As your etheric body, your physical body, and everything, all your bodies, as they start to connect with the 5D energy more and like more, I'm getting like cathedrals, as more, I don't know, threads start, like as your energy starts to connect and settle into the more 5D energy better, it's just going to get better and better and better. You're just going to feel more powerful and more empowered and more powerful, more magical, and more confident and sure that like you can do more and take on more, especially with your mental capacities expanded. It's like a no-brainer that you're going to be able to perform many tasks at once. You're going to be able to pursue many creative hobbies at once. At this point in your life, it's like, oh, I want to learn how to play an instrument. Like, how long it takes to master even just one instrument. Like, people take their whole lifetimes to do it. But I also want to learn how to, build furniture or build a home. I also want to learn this sort of engineering, or I want to be able to learn all about this kind of plant, or the biology of this animal, or I want to be able to invent this kind of creation, or I want to focus on this specific kind of problem, or how to make life easier in this kind of way. Like, there's like multitude of different pursuits you probably want to take on, and you're probably like, oh, you can't do that in one lifetime. Yeah, in the 5D you can. Absolutely. Your mental capacities are expanded beyond what you can even imagine right now. And your creative abilities, how in tune you are, how in sync, how connected you are to source energy. Oh, wow. The Tesla thing where you can like visualize inventions and move it around in your body like a holograph. It's there for you. You can be able to access resources, not just people and materials that you need, but higher energetic beings. You're going to be able to go to the other side and come back and create those creations here. You're going to have mentors that are ascended masters, that are the greatest minds that we've ever had on earth, that are of other higher dimensions that we haven't even heard of before. That's what you can expect. Okay, last couple cards here. Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative, accountability. Yeah, are you kidding me? We're literally just talking about how creative you can be. That's going to be the first gift of the 5D, is just kind of unleashing your creative side fully. If you had, when they ask you the question of, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? That's exactly what you get to do. And I know before you might have to like break it down to like just a couple of things that you can do. Imagine you can do everything. Time wasn't even a consequence. What are all the things that you would do? You don't have to prioritize. Don't even think about prioritizing. Just pick and go. And 10 of Swords. And it fell on the Sun card. I feel like you'll be grappling with all the things that you want to do. Because I feel like once you step into 5D energy, you're still kind of, you're still untethering yourself from the 3D Earth and the 3D collective energy. And so some of these thoughts of like, oh, I have to prioritize, I have to narrow down the things that I want to do. I had to pick one thing over the other. You're going to have so many things that you want to do that you couldn't imagine. And I'm also getting it might be a little bit difficult because you're entering this part of your life where you're having so many good things happen and you're like taking life, by its hand and just kind of just expanding. Your heart is expanding, and you feel good, you feel positive, you feel excited, you feel joy all the time. You want to wake up in the morning and work on a million things. You're excited to. Everything's working easily. Everything flows to you. You meet the right people, the right connections, and right resources. It inspires you. Everything inspires you. Everything looks beautiful. You can spend a whole day doing nothing and get so much out of it just by, spending time in the front porch, drinking coffee, looking at the mountains or something. Like, just you get so much just connecting to nature. You don't feel like you wasted a day. You feel like you gained a day. But it's going to be difficult when you're going to be able to still, when this detaching happens, you're still going to be able to kind of see, or not, because I see that you're protected. I got this energy that like, oh, you're not going to be able to see the difficult things going on because you're going to be protected from that because you did that already. You already looked at the worst of the worst and shined light on it and did a little bit of cleansing as much as you could without throwing up and going into becoming a mental case, right? So you move on now. So you're not going to be able to see it, but you're going to be able to sense it. You're going to be able to sense that on the other earth, there's some dark things going on. You're going to be sensing it. Your heart's going to feel like sad for them for some reason, but you're going to be protected from that. You might even disconnect from TikTok and YouTube and news and TV and movies, for a while. Only allowing in the high vibrational content if you want in your life, but mostly you're not going to even care to really watch movies too much or whatever. You might have curated a collection of like high frequency TV shows or movies and things like that, and books and stuff, but you won't have to subject yourself to that kind of darkness ever again. You're not even going to be allowed to. In the 5D energy, it's like, you don't even let darkness into your energy or into your mind. It doesn't even like want to enter. How like right now it's so easy to have like dark ideas just sometimes just pop into your head or creep up somehow. It's harder to do when you're in a high frequency state and you have control of your mental facilities. But that's a part of the discipline. That's part of the work that you have to do in order to, when you started your spiritual journey, right? Work on your mental discipline and keep yourself having only the highest and best thoughts, when possible. When moving into 5D, that's like breathing air, effortless. You don't have to have weird, negative, creepy, dark thoughts pop up out of nowhere for no reason. All right, let's round out this reading with one last message. How would this look in your life physically? First, express your individuality. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. So I definitely I feel like you start with just like individually having self-expression. So the way you express yourself, your style, your clothes, your hair, your furniture, the way you decorate your space, the kind of space you even live in, the way you express yourself, the way you speak, the way you convey your ideas. Living your authentic life means doing exactly what you feel is right in terms of your creativity, just putting it out there, how you want to put yourself out there, how you want to present yourself, no matter what anyone else thinks. Because when you're in the 5D energy, you don't care what anyone else thinks. You're in your authentic energy. You feel so confident in what you're wearing. You feel confident in what you have in your home. How you present outward. It's like this is me. You're showing your unique aspect. Even if it's the same Crate and Barrel table as everyone else, it's you. Maybe you're wearing different colors. Maybe you like to switch off. Maybe whatever it is. It starts with your energy and expressing yourself. You're not even going to feel shy anymore. I think if you're watching this reading, you're at a place in your life where you don't feel shy anymore. Being who you are. Speaking how you speak. conveying the ideas you want to convey, having conversations that you in the way that you want to. Not that you're not aware of other people and you don't take that into consideration. You're aware of your environment. It's just that the way that you come across in any situation, given situation, is going to be authentic. No matter what. That might look different in different environments, with different people, and different conversation, but it's still you. It's still underlying you. You can look at yourself in your hometown with your family, or in a networking event with your peers and colleagues, or when you're by yourself, just reading a book and a really beautiful natural landscape, and it will all be like, yeah, that's pile one. That's them. That's totally them. So it starts with you. Moving into 5D, it starts with your self-expression. And that's what you're probably going to move into now. Feeling less and less weird about being you. And expressing that physically. Expressing that physically. First. All right, pile one, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, I really appreciate a comment. One more thing, if this is resonating with you now, but you don't feel like you're completely in that energy, it comes in bouts. So it comes in cycles until you get so comfortable in it that you're in that energy. And that's when you're in the 5D energy. All right. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Okay, pile two, looking at your energy. Infinite awareness. All right, so let's look at the message for you with infinite awareness. All right, let's see your message. Ooh. Fell off the table there. Legacy. Persistence. Okay. So I feel like you've always had a knowing that you are meant to leave something that is long lasting on this earth. So whether it's an idea, a project, a building, a family, or a mix of all these things, a story, a book, an invention, adding to a culture, or something of significance. You're meant to leave something on this planet, and not everyone does in a major way, but everyone has an impact. Everyone leaves something, right? And small impacts leaving something small behind is still very meaningful and significant, but I feel like you have something bigger than that to leave behind. It depends on your soul growth, like depending on where you are with your soul growth, because there's more people who leave a little bit behind, right? But that's because there's a lot of new souls, and so what they're going to leave behind is meaningful, but it's like and it's sometimes what seems like leaving something small behind was very impactful to one other soul, or to just one little location, but that is a huge impact in the whole fabric of reality. But as your soul gets older and older, the impact that you leave is usually bigger and bigger, right? Okay. Ace of Swords. All right. There's one specific thing that this is your legacy that you're leaving behind. You know what this is. You've always known what this is. This is your soul mission. So whatever your soul mission is, it's something that that you might have had in your youth. That it's always kind of come up through different cycles of your life. But it's always been there. That one dream that you're so in awe of this dream that you have, that it's way bigger than you. that you would be grateful to even work on like 1/100th of it in your lifetime, 1/1000th of it. Even if it happens in 10 generations from now, that it all comes together, you'd be just so happy to be able to work on it in some capacity in this lifetime. That's how much this soul mission means for you. That's how much you give to this beautiful legacy. Wow, okay. Two cards came up, okay. Galactic Healer. Move forward with an open mind. Infinite awareness. So we have this like mind opening up. So I do feel like you're going to be getting more downloads, more clarity in regards to the soul mission. I feel like you're at a point in your journey where it's like, now it's possible. You've graduated enough, you have enough degrees, spiritual degrees under your belt, enough experiences, enough wisdom curated and awareness that you've been kind of granted your soul mission. You can kind of start it now or start it in a more impactful way. So I am getting that like a lot of higher energetic beings are connecting with you at this time to get started on that soul mission. Wow. Whoa, cosmic ancestors. I didn't even look at that. Yeah. Yeah. There is that energy of people have been kind of watching over you. I'm getting your ancestors are so incredibly proud. They've been watching over you and watching all like the ancestral karma that you've released and worked through and healed. They're in awe of you. They're impressed how much you've taken on, so that other people would not be able to see. Because even if your current family members or extended family or friends who are like family to you can't see it, you know how much you've done. You might not even remember some of it because like it's been like one thing after another, right? But your ancestors from the other side are looking at you and applauding you, and like their like jaws are to the ground. They're like in awe because they didn't do it. They might have been some of the people who incurred this karma. You might have had the energy of your past ancestor. You might have been one of your ancestors in a past reincarnation. But, and so your ancestral group, that's a kind of group, that's a kind of energy. You have your soul family, and a lot of you kind of, reincarnate together. So there were some, but then like families, bloodlines, and also countries and regions, they sometimes like reincarnate together. But there's like closer knit groups, like your soul family are like very close knit, and then there's like bigger group that you might incarnate with or see or want to kind of finish off karma with or want to learn lessons with in bigger groups. There's like in real life, you have your very, very tight close knit friends and family, and then maybe like friends that you see once in a while or you've known for a long time but you're not as close to anymore, and like an extended family, and then like people that you haven't seen for a long time that you see once in a while you would catch up with if you bumped into them, but other than that, and then like or like in your coworkers or your neighbors, and then like like you have it kind of works the same way with souls. Interesting. But yeah, they're looking down at you and they're kind of amazed because like you did it. You unlocked the ancestral karma and did away with it. And now you have access to this infinite knowledge and wisdom of the universe. I'm getting that you can go into your higher frequency bodies and interact with other higher frequency energies, and they're amazed with that. I'm getting through meditation mostly, but you know, if you do some channeling work, it can be in that way too, or if you however you connect with higher energetic beings, like it's like crazy to them, because like most people don't even know that world even exists, right? And then even less people know how to connect with those energetic beings, right? And how to be in the frequency to connect to those energetic beings. It's like they're in awe, right? Because like they're like, who would have known? Who would have known? Pile 2 is the one to crack the code. So now you're able to kind of do these amazing, crazy, amazing things on this planet that most people don't think about doing. You've unlocked the dream, the potential for creating this dream, this soul mission. Okay. Yeah. So you're able to connect with higher energetic beings they're now, because like they're kind of watching over you to see if you make the right moves, or if you go through the experiences to be able to connect with. There's a ton of, like, you can have a lot of spirit guides, and they can switch out. There's like core spirit guides that are there with you from like your birth to your death, but then there's some like spirit guides that stay for a long time, some for a short time, just kind of depending on what your energy needs at that time. But there's a lot of like higher energetic mentors that are looking to kind of, oh my gosh. Okay. So there are different levels of the dimensions, right? There's like, you know, we're in 3D, there's 4D, which is transitional, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, you know, 10, 11, 12. You know, people usually talk up to the 12th dimension, because after that, it's like hard for us to kind of understand or something. But one of the dimensions, I forget which one, but one of them is to connect with a lower dimensional kind of energy, and kind of like mentor them and help like kind of manifest some of the things from the higher dimensions. And so there are like mentors, and some of these mentors are, you know, energies of people who have passed here, scientists, philosophers, great world leaders and thinkers, philanthropists, humanitarians, heroes, just, you know, so some of them were folks that have lived here before and, you know, continue to grow their soul on the other side. But, you know, some of them are just like, you know, elementals, or druids, other types of shamans, and, you know, just specific like tribe leaders, like just different spiritual energy leaders. They could be elementals, they can be ascended masters. You know, a lot of people connect to specific archangels or specific deities. Those are all very powerful energies. And so sometimes a lot of these energies are like kind of like checking you out, you know, like, hey, like if this person gets to this level, or, you know, I would love to mentor them. I love to work with them to kind of bring in this energy. So, you know, a lot of people kind of like check you out and be like, hey, this could be a potential. This light worker, they look like they're awakening. That looks like a potential. They're kind of like scouting. They're kind of like, you know, checking out what's going on with folks and stuff like that. So there's that energy. Let's get a confirmation here. 10 of Swords. It's an interesting card. Because this was such a powerfully positive card. First of all, with the ancestors here, I keep seeing this person as like, whoa, like what's this? What has Pile 2 been up to? Like, that's crazy. First of all, they can't believe all the difficulties that you've endured. And then all the different types of energy that you've taken on, because a lot of it's not just your experiences, but also as a light worker or an energy worker. You're able to work with energies that you just come across, whether it could be other people's, but it could just also be the collectives. And so the amount of energy that you've helped or healed that's not even yours is incredible to them, because it's a testament to your power and what you've been able to wake up to and uncover. And it's such a short lifespan, it's such a short life. You've been able to do so much. This is kind of one of the tests that Source Energy kind of gave the Earthlings. We got this veil of forgetfulness, and when we wake up here, we have such a short period of time to be able to kind of wake up and evolve ourselves, but then also evolve the collective. It's like we're on a time crunch here, and we've been doing it. So many people are so on the other side are astonished with what's happening here on Earth. If you knew what was happening, you'd know. But if other people knew that aren't aware of what's happening in this incredible time in history, minds would be blown. Higher level energies their minds are being blown by what's going on here. And yeah. And then also I get the 10 of Swords as 10, the swords being a air element of I always see the sword as energy coming in. So it's interesting. This sword, the Ace of Swords, this is essentially the same energy, because 10 reduces to a 1. But this 1 here is you are leaving one idea that you're manifesting into this world. For this 10 of Swords, I'm seeing that you're being bombarded with some mental energy, with some ideas. So you might have been going crazy recently with a lot of things that you have ideas for that you want to take action on, but it's kind of overwhelming because all these ideas seem good and all these ideas seem doable and that you want to take action on, but it's so much at once. That's your sign that this is your pile. All right, let's see. Ooh, okay, 2 cards there too. Physical pain in reverse. The sword there, it's the same as this. So with this sword, we have a crown with a crown surrounding it. Kind of like a wreath or kind of, some sort of plants. And then with this sword, we have a heart with thorns around it. Okay. And then burden of tears. It came up face down. Okay, so I'm getting that physical pain is being lifted. I feel like that's what you had to do. You had to go through a lot of suffering. It was just one thing after another thing after another thing. I don't think you know a normal life. I don't think you know a normal life. I mean, I think a lot of people's normal life, quote unquote, normal life consists of just a lot of pain and suffering. And that's kind of what life is. You have to, what is pain, life without pain and suffering? You don't get to learn, you don't get to grow. But that's 3D thinking. Once you move into 5D, you're able to continue to evolve your soul without that pain and suffering. You can do it in other means. So that's the difference here. But the burden of tears, face down. Let's see what that's about. The 6 of Swords, and it came up in hand, which is something that you kind of keep to yourself. So there's a little bit of sadness that you have to leave people behind who kind of go through that kind of life. There's a lot of people who are just awakening or choosing to stay behind with the 3D Earth. There's a bit with you still freshly out of that energy, just freshly moving, transitioning into the 5D. There's a sadness of leaving people behind. And a lot of us have this kind of energy, not just in this lifetime, but in past lifetimes. For example, if you're moving to a different country, overseas or something like that, and you had to leave behind all that you know, your whole family, all your traditions, your way of life, how you, like, everything you know how to do, everyone you love and know, every experience and memory that you have, you had to leave it all behind. So there's a little bit of that sadness of leaving it all behind, the familiarity, but also the sadness of leaving behind the people that you love. You're like, how, you know, hopefully they can take care of themselves, or if anything bad happens, it's so sad that they have to kind of continue to go through all the difficulties that that land presents, that you're aware of, and all this kind of stuff. So that's something that's gonna like, even though your physical pain, so I'm getting a lot of things that are going to be lifted for you, pile 2. Like, if you, there's no worry about financial debt. There's no worry about where food's going to come from, or where you're going to live, or not having enough, or having the right people to look after you, to work with you, to live next to, like, all the physical survival need and necessities are being taken care of. And you know this going into this new energy. But there's still a little bit of, like, kind of, you don't feel like guilt or shame, or like you're leaving something behind, or that, like, you're not doing the right thing. It just feels more kind of like, I feel sorry for them because I know what it's like, because I went through it, you know? Because, like, you grow attachments to your families here, the 3D. You grow attachments to the places and things that you lived, and the structures at which you live by life, you know? You grow attached to it, and you start to get nostalgic and look at the good aspects of it, and you feel kind of bad. You're reminded of all the horrible aspects, and it's like, you know, like, every soul has to kind of go through it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. And we have the 21 and 29 here. So, like, the 1 to the 9, which kind of reminds me of this 1 to the 10 of swords, kind of like the completion. But the thing is here, this is going from the 1 to the 9 instead of 1 to the 10. As your mental and internal journey is complete, your physical journey is you're just in this boat. You're in transitioning into the 5D. So you're on that boat already, and you're already on your way to 5D. You're seeing that land that you're saying goodbye to in the distance, and you're yet to see the 5D land in your sights, but you know you're moving towards that. And with the 2 here, the 21 to the 29 instead of 1 to 10, is I'm getting, like, you're not alone. You're not alone. So you're transitioning with somebody. So while you're in this transition phase, as you're moving into this 5D, you're going to start to come across people who are like-minded, who have a similar frequency, who have similar goals and visions and dreams in your life. That's already happening. While you're on the boat, you're making friends with soul family or soul friends. While you're getting onto the boat, while you're even, like, boarding, while they're even saying, like, we're ready to board this boat, like, anyone who is on this boat, come here. Before you even hear the boarding announcement, you're in this, like, kind of area of meeting all these people who are going to be going on this transition and this journey with you to this new land. You're making friends already. That's where I feel like you are, which will make this moving to the new land easier. So I feel like that's where you are. And that's how you know, like, this dream that you have for the soul mission is so possible. It's so doable. It's happening. It's going to happen. All right. Let's see. The 7 Star Sisters. Birthing creation, tapestry of life, expression. I love that. Okay, so the 7 Star Sisters automatically reminds me of how usually in, like, your tightest soul group is like the 7 of you. So the 6 others of you, and then you, making this kind of soul family. It's a soul group, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if you start meeting members of your soul family, because the first people that you meet moving into 5D are the souls that are closest to you. And this is going to be kind of like surprising, because you're going to meet people who are so resonant with your energy that it takes you aback. Like, you could not believe that someone has these similar experiences, these same thoughts and ideas, that not just some of the same ideas and passions, but some of the most complementary experiences and interests and passions as well. So like some things exactly like you, some things that match with you perfectly, even though they're different. Like, it's going to blow your mind, because that's what you're going to meet first, is the people who are closest to you. Divine counterparts, soul family, these are the people that are going to come find you, because it's going to be like a bunch of you. It's going to be a bunch of light workers, you know, ready to board this boat. And it's going to be easy to find the people that resonate with you the strongest. It's going to pull you. You're going to be pulled to each other. It's going to feel like you have this magnetic pull towards each other right off the bat. Okay. So many cards want to pop out. Okay. 4 of Pentacles in reverse, moving homes, and 2 of Pentacles. So it's like you're going home. It's going to feel oddly familiar. Like, going home. It's like, even though you know you haven't been there in this lifetime, it's going to feel oddly familiar, because you have been there over and over again in past lifetimes and future lifetimes. Even connecting with these folks, that feels like home to you. So the 4 to the 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles is what's upright. So the 4 is amplifying, doubling the energy of the 2 of Pentacles. It's going to feel oddly familiar, more right than anything else has ever felt, right? And I do feel like it's a physical landform. You are going to a physical place. Maybe not land, but yeah, I do feel like it's like a physical place, and it's going to feel so oddly familiar to you. You've been here before with these people. All right, we can't stop there. We need some more information. To do your soul mission work. Interesting, interesting. So this is where you and your soul family kind of go to start your soul mission work. Just to start it. Okay, you know what I'm getting? Oh my gosh. Okay, so something about you've been here before, and it's like to be in the energy of places where you've worked on this with this group of people before is very helpful. Is very helpful. So that's why you're going to these places. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm getting that when you meet up with your soul family, you might be drawn to go to the same location. There might be 1 or 2 or 3 people that already live there or around there. There might be many more coming from out of state or out of the country, or from, further away. They're all going to be drawn to go to the specific location for a specific reason. You're going to be drawn, you're going to be called to go there all at the same time. That's where you're going to meet your soul family. Oh, okay. And when you guys go there, it's because you've all been there or been in that energy before. It doesn't have to be the exact location, but for a lot of you, it's going to be an exact location where you've been before. In previous lifetimes, ancient lifetimes, I'm hearing. Where you've worked on this kind of grand soul mission, highly spiritual mission before. Wow. So it could be like a specific location because you worked there in ancient past lifetime, or just a past lifetime. And or like it's on a ley line, so that energy is connected to maybe a different part of the world, but you all kind of worked with that energy of the ley line of the Earth's energy field in a previous lifetime. So just being in a location where there's a ley line could be significant. So all of you are going to be kind of called to go to a specific location. That's where you're going to meet. That's where you're all going to kind of like feel like this is familiar, and like, you know, maybe we should work together and like kind of figure out what you want to work together on. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. And it's going to lead to something. Okay. So it's pointing at, this is the last card I was going to pull for the reading. Let me see if I'll need more clarification or not, but it's going to lead to something. And this card was supposed to be meant to tie up the reading to see how this is going to maybe manifest in your life immediately or most obviously. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release the old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. We already see that happening. Releasing the old. Anger or resentment. I got burden of tears here. Releasing the physical pain. Okay, so do you know what? You know how like when you go through a difficult experience, until you're out of that difficult experience, can you finally rest, recuperate, and kind of do the inner work in regards to it? I feel like that's what's happening with the physical pain, is that like you've been kind of really targeted as a light worker in this world. Divinely coordinated if you go to the highest level, but it's gonna feel like, wow, like you're not gonna, like, you knew you were attacked, you knew that your life was difficult, and you compare yourself to other people. It's like, well, my life is a little bit better than that one, but you know, after this pain is released as you move into 5D, and you come into 5D right away by just connecting with your soul family, because the energy is amplified when you're around people who resonate at the same frequency as you. So you're already kind of like getting glimpses and jumping into 5D more often and staying in there consistently, being around your soul family in the physical. It amplifies it so incredibly much, especially if you're meeting more than one. It's like, wow, like it blows your mind, right? And that physical pain just goes away. And all the difficulties and suffering that you had all kind of just gently fades away. And so when you're out of that pain, I feel like there's a little bit of like, hey, we got to work together. Let's work on this soon. Going back home to gather your things, or to kind of recuperate, or to kind of gather your thoughts, kind of. And in that time, you will finally be able to release that anger and resentment and pain, like of that pain that you were carrying your entire life up until now, meeting your soul family. Because light workers specifically, you're kind of born into this world in the 5D energy. A lot of people are born with 5D energy. Not everyone, but a lot of people are born with already being in the 5D energy. And that kind of gets stripped away as you kind of get conformed to the more 3D way of being. Right? That's why you lose your imagination, your creativity. And your happy, positive, happy-go-lucky, help everyone kind of energy. You still hold on to it, but you hold on to it your whole life. You're like, I'm, 5D, I know this exists. This is my energy. It's pure, it's divine, and it's authentic. Then to feel that's true and that's real and exists with your soul family, there's a little bit of like kind of anger. It's like, well, why did I have to go through that? That sucks. I had to go through life without them, without this energy, without this confirmation, without this reassurance, with all this pain and suffering. But it's like, but you knew you were doing all that to get here, like, and you knew it existed, and now it's here. So it's like kind of a little bit of like a releasing that anger and resentment energy once you come into energy with them. And Justice. There we go. You come into your true authentic energy. So you just do a little bit of like crying it out. Oh my God, all the things that I had to experience, how difficult it was. Review period, let those emotions come through, let it be released. And now you can comfortably start this whole new life in this reincarnation. It's going to feel like, wow. That was amazing. Pile 2. Let me know if this resonated. If you did, I really appreciate a comment. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. And I wish you much love and light. Hey, pile 3 with the solar plexus chakra. Let's see the message for you. Wow, look at that dragon. Love how the flames are so bright that it matches the yellow of the solar plexus card. Transcendence, achieving success. I'm definitely getting right off the bat that like this light is bursting out of you. And it's something that you can't like you couldn't quantify it before. It couldn't be something that was seen, but now it's like bursting out of you, that like it is tangible. You could see it, you can feel it, it's like you can feel the heat off the flame kind of thing. People can just understand when they're in your energy that like you come with such power. You're connected. If there needs to be a solution to a problem, you can instantaneously think of a unique solution. You're a problem solver because you're so connected divinely that intuitively you can manifest whatever help you need. People can sense that energy around you. You can feel it, like feeling a wave of heat, off a flame. They feel it off you. It feels tangible. When you enter a room and you're feeling happy, like the whole room lights up. Everyone's smiling when you smile. They can sense your power. And it depends on how intuitive they are, but if they're not that intuitive or don't trust their intuition as much, they can sense something about you. Train whistle. Yeah. I feel like your light is so bright that it attracts not just like energy to folks, but everyone. Absolutely everyone. I feel like people, even like dark energies or people with like dark intentions, like they hover around your space. Like they're at a distance. They can't come near you. They can't touch you. You're that much of the light. You're that brightly shining. But they can't even like withstand being around that much bright light. But they even like to be in your vicinity because that energy is enough to kind of power them up too. They can't be that close to you. They can't handle that. But they are attracted to you. They're attracted to your light, as everyone is. But they can't be around you. So they're even just being in the same like building or like same vicinity or around you, around the building even that you're in, like that. They can feel your energy and it makes them happy. You'll see people gather. You'll see people gather around you. You'll see like activities start to happen when no one was there. There was no line, before you came in, and after there's a huge line. You were just parking in a parking lot and no one was there, and all of a sudden there's a lot of commotion, people walking around, You're getting home and, it's a peaceful, beautiful evening, and now there's like all your neighbors are out and everyone's doing everything. Or an awkward time of day. You're at a restaurant and it's like odd time and you're like, I just wanted to have some peace, look at the scenery, and then all of a sudden all these people come swarming around you. And even the staff is kind of like, what? Like, this is a odd time, and this is nothing specifically going on, no event or anything. It's it's odd. Things like that. So people are gonna be gravitating towards your energy because they can feel it, and they can feel that like they're not vampires. Let me correct that. They're not vampires. It's just you're exuding us so much source energy being channeled through you, so much divine energy, so much pure love energy, pure light energy being exuded off of you, that they're not sucking your energy. They're just it's there, and they get to enjoy it if they're around your energy, around you, around your aura. And your aura extends so wide that like people want to be around that. And you're gonna see that people who are who stand to be closer to you are people who vibrate closer to your frequency, and people who are still kind of want to congregate but can't be that close to you are people who have lesser well-intentioned. Good technique to know, good information to know, especially if you're making new friends, or if people ask you like, hey, like if someone like close to you is like, hey, you think you can help me out with this, or they want to have a conversation, it's probably something that's pretty okay to go into. But if someone from the outer vicinity asks for your help or wants a conversation with you, you might be a little bit more wary or kind of politely decline. If you know what I know, if you know what I mean, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, 2 cards. Okay, wow, Wheel of Fortune. It's gonna feel like luck. You're gonna feel like very lucky because you're manifesting this huge amount of power that you've been kind of building in this furnace inside of yourself. I'm getting kind of Smog. In The Hobbit, the dragon that is protecting the gold. Forget. But that kind of energy. And it just feels like you have so much. You have so much of this divine energy. And you just feel lucky. Everything just comes, if you're looking for a parking spot, you find it right away. You're looking for a specific item, and if you find just one left on the shelf, you grab it. This kind of stuff is going to be happening to you all the time, every single hour of every single day. You just have to think of it, and it manifests. You just want it, and it happens. That stuff is going to happen again and again and again. Especially when you're in your own energy or around people who are in a similar energy. You might see this kind of slow down if you try to get into someone else's energy that's lower than yours, or around specific situations and things that are lower than yours, and you're gonna have to choose to be in that energy. You're gonna be in high vibes all the time, but sometimes if you choose to be in a lower energy, whether it's a person or a place or a thing, a situation, you might see that your manifestation's energy is like kind of slow down, but it's still happening. Or, yeah. Not stuck, but it's like really severely hindered or slowed down. But you can always just go back into your own energy, and it'll start happening again, over and over. That's the kind of energy you're in right now. Very fierce, very powerful. And these are for the folks who have been in that energy in hermit mode for like a decade or more, and finally rising to the surface. And you're going to be kind of like in the beginning, like kind of like taken aback by how effective your energy is. It's like you're being unleashed. It's like your power is being unleashed. Your light is being unleashed, unveiled, and finally being able to be seen. Okay. So this is the Queen of Swords in reverse. I feel like you don't even have to say anything. People will just say things to you. I don't know. I feel there's this moment. I feel like I feel like this is right when your light is being unveiled. After your initial awakening cycle kind of comes to an end and you're ready to step into 5D and ready to step into this new cycle, this new grand cycle, this new 5D cycle, finally being in there consistently, I feel like maybe later on you're going to connect with people who are, resonant with you and stuff like that. And that's going to come naturally being in 5D energy. But I feel like this, in the beginning, even if you are connecting with a lot of 5D people, divine counterparts, soul family, people that you will network with, light workers that you will network with to work on different types of projects, even if you're already doing that or start doing this at the same time, I think in the beginning, when you enter this 5D energy, there's a lot of like getting comfortable in your own skin in this new 5D energy first, getting used to the experience, and you're going to notice that not just you, but like a lot of your other friends who are stepping into this new energy are going to also feel a little bit like that too. You guys are going to be hanging out, but like there's going to be a little moment where you just kind of want to like, you're like, oh wow, this is happening. Okay, let me get comfortable with this. Like, let me learn how to use this new controller, or let me learn this new game before I can, go playing along with others kind of thing. So there's a moment where it doesn't feel like hermit mode. You're just kind of enjoying this 5D energy, feeling like I'm finally here, allowing yourself to kind of just enjoy it and on your own first, because it's kind of like this awakening journey was mostly a slow lit journey, so you're just gonna kind of want to enjoy it and soak it in for a little while. I'm getting 2-3 months, and at the minimum, and in that time, like, it feels like, you know how you've been in hermit mode for a long time and you've been silent because it's hard for other people to kind of resonate with you, even though you can understand them, they couldn't understand you, so you just kind of kept quiet mostly. This time it's like you're being quiet, but not because you can't speak, or you don't want to, or you're unwilling to, or you don't have anything to say, or you wouldn't speak eloquently and wisely and beautifully eloquently, but because you don't need to. People will just come up and talk to you and fill this space and void because they feel like they need to, they feel excited and they feel like they want to offer you things or help you out or give you compliments or ask for your help or speak because they feel uncomfortable and need to fill the space or something like that. Like, it's like you don't even really need to say anything. I'm getting kind of like celebrity status, but it's not even that you're like, most of the people picking this out aren't that well known or will be or want to. It's just like that your energy is giving that energy off of like a celebrity, It's like, oh, you should be in awe in the presence of this person who has so much power, and that's how they feel, So like, that's the energy I'm kind of getting. Okay, let's see. In this energy, channel your knowledge. Wow, look at this bright yellow again. Wow. Critical judgment. And so I do feel there's a sense of like your wisdom is being acknowledged, your knowledge base, your expertise, your skill set, your natural talents and gifts. These are being highly recognized. All the wisdom that you've gained in that time that you've spent in hermit mode or during your spiritual awakening, that is all coming up to be a resource for others now and be helpful and for you to be a service of light. And so this comes part of the territory. Like, once you have a lot of wisdom, like, it's up to you to kind of share it. You don't ever need to take on anything that you feel like you can't take on. But if people come to you and ask, you can, choose and help in any capacity that you can, whether it's just a little bit or, as much as you can. It's up to you. But I do feel like you're going to be asked of these services a lot. So you might kind of get kind of familiar with like how to help people in the most efficient way possible, very quickly, what's most important to channel for them or to relay, and then kind of move on, because it's kind of like, then otherwise you'll be just sitting there helping everyone in the whole entire place, and then your energy is gonna be drained, right? So you're gonna like be able to pick out like who probably needs your help the most, or how you can help the person most efficiently, or what information is most that can be most helpful in the situation. That's a new skill that you're going to be able to pick up on in this in this time. Yeah, you just have to, it's going to be kind of like overburdening at first, because it's kind of like you want to help everyone, and you want to help them so fully, set up their whole life for them or something like that. It's like you got to like pull back. Also, there's going to be just a lot of people, or it could be just like a lot of people who want your help. And so this is kind of why you'll probably start to kind of want to not be in public areas too much. And this is what you're gonna learn that yourself. Like, oh yeah, like this is why I can't be in public areas too much. I should probably find something a little bit more quieter. And that's why a lot of high frequency light workers, starseeds, spiritual warriors, spiritual leaders, eventually find very peaceful, high frequency land to live off of, so they can be at their best, have their energies recharged, and only take on the people that they come across, and a few at a time, not like a whole crowd, and until you can figure out how to best utilize these gifts, because it's obvious that you have some wisdom that other people would like, and so you're going to be able to find your unique route in sharing this wisdom, whether it's going to be being an online personality, writing a book, doing lectures, having classes, getting like together resorts or events like that, working with a group, working solo, having like clients or very few, or doing some sort of nonprofit work, charity work, or a mix of all of these. It's going to be up to you. But this is kind of like you're just stepping into the 5D energy. You're meeting up with a bunch of people who are like you, but also people who want to know things from you, and it's going to be overwhelming because you haven't been in that energy. But you're going to know, like, okay, now it's time to kind of reform my life, your career, your business, or your way to do this kind of spiritual work. Okay. So what else is happening for you? Communication. Yeah, so this is a really good time for you to work on your communication skill. The solar plexus here is kind of like how to translate the divine guidance you get to the masses. Now that you have an audience, now that you have people who want to get a little bit of your light, your wisdom, you're receiving this information in whatever divine way that works for you, whether it's meditation or through channeling or through some other divine modality. You're getting some sort of channeled information, maybe to research specific things, specific ideas and theories, inventions, whatever you're channeling, ancient history, new ways of looking at different scientific concepts, or just however you're getting this or getting your divine communication, it's your job to kind of now package it for others and whatever that is, whether it's your audience or whether it's your students or whether it's your peers or whether it's your clients or customers, like whatever it is, like you're gonna have to find a way to kind of take the divine guidance that you got and share it. So your communication skills are going to come into focus here. You'll probably already have very spectacular communication skills after practice, but this is on a different level. This is soul mission level, right? So you're gonna have to learn a new way of doing it, or a better way of doing it, or advancing that skill to another level. This is the time to do it. Your solar plexus is like fully on. Your light is shining. You have mastery not over just like your higher chakras, but your lower chakras too. So that's why you're able to manifest this higher knowledge onto the planet. into the collective now. So this is where you step up to do your soul mission. So the way that you communicate, or your preference of communication, or the style, or like your preferable creative modality, how you like to present this information. It could be through videos, it could be through art forms, it could be through music, it could be through writing, it could be through talking, it could be on one-on-one, it could be with groups, it could be with a certain kind of group, a younger audience, or a more mature audience, or an audience of a specific background, or audience of a specific interest, or whatever it is. A specific hobby, niche interests, or whatever it is, that's going to kind of come into focus and kind of guide you to how to share this gift and stepping into that new life, that new career. The Magician, yeah, wow. You already have the magic. You already have the light. This is just kind of like expanding your business, you know? And the Emperor, wow, in reverse. The thing is, because you're stepping into 5D energy, the way that you're going to be doing this quote unquote business, or the quote unquote career, I like to call it life's work. Okay, it's everything that you work on, whether it's personal or for your survival, or for helping others, or for improving life or something. I'll categorize it as life's work. You know, it's sad that we have to change it into these money making things, right? So this is why you have to do it in a different way. The Emperor in reverse signifies to me that you're going to have to be creating this new business or career, or creative pursuit or passion project in a way that aligns with 5D energies. Not that you won't be getting something out of it yourself. It has to be reciprocal. You're going to have to get out of it as much as you give. But it's going to be in more 5D way. You know, it's crazy to me. It's so easy to make money, right, in the 3D sense. But in the 3D way of doing business, there's always a loss. Most of the time, I want to say like 95%, if not more, of the time, of successful business, or people, the way that people make business is in a way that there is a loss for another person, or another group of people, or a lot of other people. And that's not cool. It should be reciprocal. It should be where people gain more and gain more energy from it. Both parties, or all parties involved, should be gaining more energy, being more empowered, feeling more powerful. So that's where like doing business, like, and there are, not to say there aren't businesses that are that still use the money system. I mean, we're gonna have to use the money system going forward anyway, at least initially. But like that, you know, you have, like, for example, a service or a product that you're serving, that you're selling, that is like really actually helpful, and you have that in mind, doing it in a way that's very like intentional and thoughtful and good for all parties involved, the earth, people, for people working in the business, people who receive this item, and for yourself. It works for all parties involved. Like there's not as many. There's very few of that compared to the amount of businesses or money-making techniques that always has some party at a loss. It shouldn't be that way. It should be all parties have a gain. So that's where it's going to come in differently, in a new way. Okay. And you'll get the divine guidance for it. I mean, you're there in 5D. It's gonna be easy for you to set it up and have a business or career or make money in this way. But at this point, you're not going to be interested in the career aspect and climbing the ladder and getting your name out there and being very well known for your work, or having a business that is in this top percentage, or that has room to grow and is always making more and more and more, or and growing, or even what was it? Or having more money and, being able to flaunt it and showing how much you're making versus spending and all the, like, it's like, at this point, it's going to be like, yeah, you'll still want nice things. And yeah, it still be nice to get recognition for your work and stuff, but it's not at that weird level that people have taken it to, it's like more of like a respectful and like kind of let the work speak kind of way. It's more like it's for the work. It's actually for the enjoyment, the help, the light that emanates from this. It's a creation that is co-created with the divine. It's a creation that is building a life of its own instead of such an egotistical way of looking at it, if you know what I mean. Okay, this card wanted to come out first. Baby steps. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Yeah. So in the beginning, yeah. Because if you're wondering, like, oh, yeah, how's that going to work? I heard so many people say that, but, it doesn't work out in the 3D life. And it's like, well, take baby steps. You're going to get intuition. You're going to take your steps. It's not going to happen overnight. Some things might feel like, oh, wow, like, I'm here now. You're going to recognize, like, oh, wow, like, I'm already here. It's because when you're in 5D, things happen more instantaneously with the things that you want and need, but you're going to take baby steps. Again, while you're moving into 5D, you can practice. I got this message before, but it's kind of like you're going to have 5D and higher beings kind of make sure that you're in child mode. Because like if you just move into 5D and you're trying to manifest like big things right away and they manifest right away, it's going to cause like cataclysms, right, in the energies of the physical world. So it's kind of like you have like a child lock on, or like shackles. Shackles not a good phrase, but it's kind of like training mode on. You have your training mode on, and so you're gonna be able to manifest small things a lot right away. So you're gonna be manifesting things that you personally want very, very quickly, and you're gonna realize that some of these things isn't things that you actually want. You just wanted it in the moment and you got it, but it's like, but I don't really need this. I don't really want this. Maybe it's like a waste of a manifestation. But you're not going to think that way. It's just going to get you used to refining the things that you actually need and want. And once you learn to do that, because like before you might, while you're kind of still coming out of this 3D energy, you might think that you need like a lower quality version of this, So you're going to be practicing manifesting small items, and then you'll graduate to small, medium, to medium and stuff like that you want. But that you actually want, not what you think you deserve or think you can afford, or, you're going to get exactly what you want. So you're going to get better and better at manifesting the small things that you want, that you actually want. And you might manifest a lot of things that you don't want in the process until you understand and realize that. And manifesting only when you need to manifest, not all the time. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. And all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. And so now that you're in this 5D energy, and this was true when you're even in 3D energy, but when you're in 3D energy, every path kind of kept leading you back to home, or your more authentic energy, or that one true timeline, the divine timeline, the divine plan. And so even if you got off track, like if you had like tower moments or moments in your life where you feel like there was a crash and burn or a dark night of the soul, like those were all moments for you to learn and to kind of course correct and get yourself back on your authentic energy, your divine path. And they were more difficult, right? Because like you didn't understand, there were lessons to learn. You didn't really get it because you were still kind of understanding these divine energies and energies in general, since it has been kind of, this stuff hasn't been taught to us, right? A lot of us when we were younger. But now you're realizing that in the 5D energy, like it's good things happening. And the bad things, the worst a bad thing can be is neutral. So for example, you can manifest a small thing that you don't really want, and it's fine. It doesn't help you or hurt you. It doesn't hurt you. It might help you a little bit, or you might not just need it. And at the most, the bad things are going to be neutral. Like, oh, I can just take it or leave it, So that's something else you're going to realize. Okay, last card before we move into our last energy. 4 of Cups. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's an exciting time, and it's like you're just discovering this and you're getting a handle on it, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of childlike, in the way that it's kind of like it's you're in awe and you're kind of just excited and you're figuring things out, but it's fun and it's new and it's enjoyable. Okay, yeah, because I feel like this is a new thing, just manifesting like crazy. All right, and last card, just to see like how this might look in your physical life immediately, or this energy might look most obvious to you right now. Okay. Okay, there we go. Children. I literally just said childlike. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. So I do feel like you're getting into that childlike energy. And also, this is not a sign that you don't worry that you're going to get pregnant, or you're going to find that you have a mysterious child somewhere, or that, you're ready to have another child or get pregnant, or that's going to happen sooner than you think. It could be a sign that you are going to have children, or have more children, or be connected and helping children in the future. But the sign in synchronicity you're going to see a lot is a lot of children around you. You're probably going to notice it in videos and even in books, but even just people talking about it. When you go to stores, just being surrounded. And I do get a lot of children are going to come up to you and they're going to connect with you because you're in that childlike energy. So a lot of us, we were in this energy, this 5D energy, only for that small time in childhood. When we're very creative and intuitive and we're just running around and imagining stories and, being very creative and connected to source energy. And then we slowly fell out of that, right? Actually, the most highly intellectual people in the world are those that kept that energy up, kept using their imagination into their young adulthood, the teenage years, the young adulthood, into adulthood. Those are the people who are the smartest in the world, are people who didn't get corrupted mentally and their energy corrupted and kept using their imagination. Those are the most successful people in the world. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, I really appreciate you like a comment. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light.